Hello everyone, my name is Spencer Boyce and I'm a recent graduate from Weber State University, and I'm here to show you a little bit of how LinkedIn works. So I'm going to start off by showing you the LinkedIn homepage. It's linkedin.com, and I'm going to begin by logging into my own LinkedIn account. And so I'll start off by getting you a little bit familiar with this page. This is going to be your homepage. And so on the left-hand side, right down the middle, you can see that there are little news articles and news feeds. And it's kind of similar to Facebook, where this is going to be your news feed. If you go like different groups in LinkedIn, then you will get updates from those groups and people that you follow right here down the middle. Right here on the right-hand side, it gives you a snapshot of people that you have recently visited in case you want a quick way to get in contact with them. And below that, there's also another snapshot of who has viewed your profile, which I think this is an important area to look at and refer to. So you can see that I have had 6 people view my profile within the last 15 days, and that my page has improved by 13% in the last 30 days just by people coming to my page and looking at my profile. Below that, you can see people that have viewed your recent updates. So with LinkedIn, you are able to post articles, post your own articles, or link to other articles that people have posted. And then you can see here the people that have gone on and liked those articles and commented on them. And so it's a way for you to kind of network within LinkedIn itself. Below that, you can get a snapshot about your own LinkedIn network. So currently, I have 204 connections, and my network is about 4.5 million people. So I have a lot of room to work on there to increase my network. So with your LinkedIn profile, the first thing you want to do is upload a photo of yourself. It adds validity to your profile, and it also increases the likelihood that somebody will click onto your profile to view you. So right here I have this great picture of myself, and next to it, this is where you can edit the content of, basically it's your banner for your LinkedIn page. So here you can see my first name, and I can edit it with this big button. Below that is basically your banner. It's what you want to write about yourself, just a quick little snapshot. So for me, currently I am an MBA student, and I am also a marketing director for a charity. So on this little banner, I have put that I am an MBA student and the marketing director at Charity Beyond Borders. And so when someone sees me on a LinkedIn search, they can see that little snapshot about me and kind of get a little bit of background about what I do. And below that, this is important, you want to update your location, because depending on your location, you'll come up in different searches under different people's search results. So it's important to have your location updated. And next to that, I just kind of put in the industry that I was interested in and where I have most of my experience, which is marketing and advertising. And below that, this will automatically update, your current position will automatically update when you input all your work history. And then it'll also put in your previous work history and then your current education. So below this little snapshot or banner of myself is the summary. And the summary is the second most important part, I would say, about your profile. The first is your photo, the second is your summary. And this is where you are going to write a little bit about yourself and your background, your experience, and kind of what you're all about and what you want somebody to know about you when they look at your LinkedIn profile. So here you can see that it's kind of cut off, so I can click on that and enlarge it. And so this is the editing section for my summary. And so you can see in here that I put that I'm an MBA student, that I have a bachelor's degree in marketing, and then I have listed some of the experience that I have done, what industries I've been in, such as automotive, nonprofit, and the education sectors. And I have also written down kind of what drives me. You know, I worked in Europe, I worked in Africa. I made sure to list that because it was very important. And I write down that I am passionate about anything with design. And so this is just some of the things that I want an employer or a potential employer to know about me when they come to my profile. So within the LinkedIn profile, you can move sections around. So for instance, I have my summary first and I have my education second, or else I can grab this little arrow and drag it down and move those around. But for purposes of me, I wanted to have my summary first because that is the first thing I want an employer to look at. And then after that, I want them to see my education, because right now I do not have a whole ton of work experience. And so it's important for me that employers know that I am working on my MBA, because that's what's going to set me apart from other people in their search criteria. So I have that listed very first, followed by my bachelor's degree at Weber State with my GPA. And if your GPA is high enough, be sure to put that on there because it is an important aspect. And below that, I also have just my high school education. So following my education, this is the important part, experience. So here I have listed all of my work experience that I've ever done. And so you can see that I currently work as the marketing director for Charity Beyond Borders. I have an internship that I did over the previous summer with Fiat Chrysler. And within these, it's basically what you pull from your resume. It's going to be everything that you have written under the description for your position. And here you can add a little bit more information because you have more room versus a one-page paper for your resume. And so if you want to edit or add a little bit more information that you couldn't on your resume, that is okay to do. And one of the really cool things I like about this is that you can get recommendations under certain positions. So under my marketing internship, I had someone that I had worked with named Amy. I wrote her and asked her if she would recommend me. So recommendation is basically a little write-up that someone does, say it was a manager that was over you or your boss or something like that, and they just write a little bit about their experience with you and the parts that you excelled in. And so later on, we will show you how to go and ask for a recommendation from some of your connections here on LinkedIn. So following basically your job positions, your experience, you're going to have some extra information. You can put honors and awards that you have received. You can write down some of your volunteer experiences, some organizations that you have worked with. And then I had listed some of the organizations that I was involved here at Weber State and some of the positions that I had with them, so vice president or leadership. And below that, I have languages. And so for me, I speak a second language of Estonian, so it was important for me to list that on there. And you can choose whether or not how proficient you are at the language. So you have elementary, you have limited work proficiency, professional, full, or native or bilingual. And so in the business context, I probably have limited working proficiency so that I could work on. So it's important for me to put that on here, but also be honest with my real skills with that. And below that, you have your skills and endorsements. And these are actually what people endorse you for. So when you're creating your LinkedIn profile, you can pick skills and endorsements that you want listed. So I had picked marketing, management, customer service, research, advertising, these things that pop up. And then below here, you can see some of the other ones that I have picked. And when people come to my page, they're actually able to endorse me. So at the top of the page, when they come to me, it'll say, hey, would you like to endorse Spencer for marketing? And they click yes. Okay, he knows about marketing. And so this kind of tallies up. And the more that you get, the higher you get up in search results and different things like that. So it's really important that you endorse people and write skills for them as well as them doing it for you. And then below that, there's just some additional info on my birthday, marital status. You can leave that. You don't have to have that. And another thing on here is publications. And so with my publications, I had written for the Weber State University Signpost. And originally, I had listed on here all of the articles I had ever written with the newspaper. And when I had my LinkedIn reviewed, they had told me that the articles take up way too much space on my profile, that it just wasn't needed on there. So what I did was I went into my publications and I just put that I have publications with Weber State University, and then I added a web address that took people straight to my publications if they wanted to see those. So that way it reduced clutter on my page and made it easier for people to scroll through my page and get to the information that they needed. And below this, you have your recommendations like I talked about earlier. So far I have 3. But it is really important that you go and ask for recommendations. This is where you add validity to your LinkedIn profile, and this is where people are going to look and see, okay, Spencer has some high recommendations saying that he was a pleasure to work with, that, marketing intern to handle event advertising. They'll talk about your position and how great you were. He was hardworking and passionate. He gives 100%. High energy and ability to motivate. And so these are the type of things you want potential employers to see when they're looking through your profile, because this is basically a pre-interview process. They are screening you for this, and once they get the information and they like what they see, then they're going to contact you through LinkedIn to possibly interview with their firm. So it's really important that you work on getting as many recommendations as you can. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is the Connections tab. It's one of my favorite things on LinkedIn. And so you go up to Connections right next to your profile, and under Connections, it'll pop up Find Alumni. So you can click on this link, and it brings you to this very cool search page. So at the top, it has my current university, the University of Birmingham. And there are 90,000 results that you can search through for people that have been to the University of Birmingham. So this is an area where you can click and see where graduates or alumni are living, where they're working, and what industries they're working in. So this is a very helpful tool if you are interested in a particular position, a particular employer, anything like that. If you're interested in living in a foreign place, somewhere different from you, you can click on that and see if you have any connections. And most of the time, alumni are very willing to introduce you to people, introduce you to positions, introduce you to people that are hiring for positions. And so this is a great opportunity for anyone to go on LinkedIn and use. It's a great tool to really get your foot in the door with a position if you are interested. So currently I'm in the UK, and say I want to work in Germany. So I can go down to where people live and click on Germany, and that narrows down my search results to about 619 people. So then I can find a place. Say I want to work at Volkswagen, or if that's not what I want to do, say I'm really into arts and design. So I can click on arts and design, and the field gets narrowed down even more to 11 results. So if I scroll down, it gives me a list of 11 people that have graduated from the University of Birmingham that live in Germany and work with art and design. And so this is a great area for me to really go to and find people that could possibly help introduce me to the art and design scene or into employers that might be willing to look at me. So you can see here, it'll show you the date when they graduated. So this person will graduate in 16, so that's fairly new. Or else we have someone from 94, 76, 75. And so what you do is you can actually click on their profile. So say I'm interested in this LinkedIn member that works in Germany. I can click on her profile. And it gives me, again, this is a little snapshot I was talking about earlier. This is a snapshot of this particular individual. So it gives their experience, their education, and just a basic little synopsis of what they're doing currently. And then you can click on their profile to get a more extensive view. Okay. So with this connections page, you can actually go and change your school. So for instance, like I said before, I'm on the University of Birmingham page, but I can change to Weber State University. So we'll click on that, and you can see that with Weber State University, there's about almost 38,000 people that you can search through, alumni and current students that are on LinkedIn. And so you can see, again, the different sectors that you can search through, where they live, where they work, what they do. You can click this arrow for some more searches of what they studied, what they're skilled in, how they are connected, or how you are connected with that individual. And so again, if you just play around with this area, it's just a great little tool that you can work on. You can choose when they attended, when they graduated. And again, if you change schools, say you're interested in going further with your education, going on to grad school, anything like that, then you can search the different schools. Say I want to go to University of Utah for grad school. I can click on there. And again, I can search through all of the students or alumni at the University of Utah, and again, try and make connections that way through LinkedIn.